I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I know you may be wondering, wait a minute, didn't I see this review before? Well, you did back when I was talking about the underwater films of 1989, but unfortunately this one got a copyright claim, so I wanted to redo the review for this, and that is, of course, DeepStar Six. Now, like I said before, it's one of the 1989 underwater films. That's when The Abyss was coming out. But there's a lot of mystery behind The Abyss. They just knew it was directed by James Cameron. They go, oh wow, is this? They just assumed it'd be a horror film, action, maybe horror film like Aliens. So they made underwater horror films that were more horror. And of course, James Cameron's film was more like E.T. than anything else. It's that kind of, good-natured film. And I like The Abyss. Despite my review, I may seem a little bit harsh on the film. Just a quick note on The Abyss. I really like The Abyss. I really like the cast, the music, the ideas. I do like The Abyss a lot. I would put it in my top 5 James Cameron films. It's just, I don't, the pacing I thought kind of lagged at times, and I thought the uh, the extended edition, the ending, I didn't like the preachy ending of, you must fix your shit. Otherwise, these waves are going to come down and crush you. I like the more simplistic. The aliens did what they did because they saw that these two loved each other, and that's all you needed. I thought I didn't, but I know a lot of people prefer the other one, but that's fine. But that's just me. But I do really like The Abyss. Of course, as you know, Leviathan is my favorite. I've talked about Leviathan time and time and time and time again. Um, but as for the rest of the review, there's a lot of other films other than Leviathan and The Abyss. There was this film, there was Endless Descent, which I thought was okay. It's also a thing called The Rift. There's Lords of the Deep, which I thought sucked ass, and there's another one, The Evil Below, which I thought sucked ass. Those reviews are still up on my channel. This was the only one that wasn't because of copyright claim, because of Lionsgate. Because this was Arts Entertainment, but then Lionsgate now has Arts and they put a copyright claim, so fuck you, Lionsgate. But either way, DeepStar Six. Another funny thing about this, I know my friend, me and my friend Efrey are probably the only two people who like this film, and that's understandable. I say that, and it's okay. The reason I say it's understandable is that I can understand why people don't like it. I mean, for instance, The Blob, 1988, or Leviathan, or even that film back there. I'll defend them. You're okay to not like them, but it's like if you say it's a piece of shit, then I'll at least defend it. Like, no, I'm sorry, I disagree because of A, B, and C reasons. But on the other hand, like this film, I know my friend Michael Keane, which is weird because there's a character in this film that kind of reminds me of Michael Keane in a good way. Uh, he didn't like the film at all. He thought it bored him to tears. So take this review with a biggest grain of salt as you can. It's probably not going to be your cup of tea, but it is my cup of tea. I know it's my friend Efrey's cup of tea. We're probably, again, the only two people who like this film. And that's cool. That's fine. But just to give my reasons, first up some info on the film. The DVD, it's a full screen version. I don't think there's ever been a widescreen version of this. Uh, 2.0 Dolby Surround. I mean, no features whatsoever. It was directed by Sean S. Cunningham, of course the same guy who directed the first Friday the 13th. And he actually didn't have much of a career. I mean, I know he helped work on the original Last House on the Left with Wes Craven. I know he directed one sequence in the Nightmare on Elm Street, a chase sequence. But other films he directed was like Manny's Orphans, A Stranger's Watching, The New Kids. It says the last film he directed was in 2001, XCU Extreme Close-Up. This is on Wikipedia, but I know he did a TV movie with Bruce Campbell called Terminal Invasion, which I don't remember anything about except not liking it. I mean, it was poorly received by critics and viewers. It currently has a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so, and a 4.6 on IMDb. So it goes to show you that, again, there's only a few people who like this film, including me. And that says, not all aliens come from space. Save your last breath to scream. But yeah, it was directed by Sean S. Cunningham. And weirdly enough, he actually got Harry Manfredini, of course, who did the music to Friday the 13th, doing the score to this. So once in a great while, it kind of sounds like a Friday the 13th score. But I thought Harry Manfredini did a decent enough job in this flick. And weirdly enough, I wanted also to talk about the writer. It's Louis Abernathy. And the funny thing is that, okay, the guy would go on. He didn't do much. He came up with the story and wrote this film. He came up with the story and wrote the teleplay for Terminal Invasion. So he worked with Sean Cunningham again. The writer for this film will go on to direct that shitty movie House 4. Well, it's not fair to call it shitty. I haven't seen House 4 technically. I've seen parts of it, but I know that William Catt, he gets killed at the beginning and stuff. But so technically I haven't seen House 4, I can't say it, but you know, maybe one day. But he did direct House 4, the writer of this film. And really enough, he would be an actor in Titanic with James Cameron directing. The reason I say that is that there's a piece of trivia which I thought was really funny, which I'll read. The guy who wrote this, Louis Abernathy, he knew James Cameron. And James Cameron for a while was pissed at him, and then they sort of made up. So I guess he could, well, here it is. Writer Louis Abernathy sold the script at the same time their friend James Cameron was working on his own underwater saga, The Abyss. Despite James Cameron asking that he delay this movie to avoid competing with The Abyss, this wasn't going to compete with The Abyss, sorry. Abernathy went ahead and was thereby deemed persona non grata with James Cameron and associates until they patched together their friendship when Louis Abernathy accompanied James Cameron on the September 1995 filming of the wreck of the Titanic for the movie Titanic. So, basically Louis Abernathy sold his script, came up with the idea, and James Cameron's like, oh, can you hold off? I'm doing this. Louis Abernathy's like, fuck you, Jimmy. I'm doing this. And then not only was this film a big flop and bombed, it opened in January, which is a bad month. But then James Cameron said, fuck you, Louis. And then later on, it's like, okay, we're going to go on these dives to look at the wreck of Titanic. And then they patched together. So I guess they were friends. But they patched together, so there you go. Another interesting thing, it says Robert Harmon, the director of the original The Hitcher, as well as Highwaymen, a film I reviewed not that long ago, was originally set to direct this. That would have been interesting. Because Robert Harmon, I hate to be mean, I think Robert Harmon's a better director than Sean S. Cunningham. Robert Harmon, you look at The Hitcher, you look at Highwaymen, I'm not saying the guy's perfect, but those two films, okay, that's a capable director. Sean S. Cunningham, he did Friday the 13th, you know, slasher film. And I do like the film, but that would have been interesting to see what Robert Harmon would have done with this. I will admit that. That would have been interesting. I like Robert Harmon. Just from The Hitcher alone, which was a few years before this film came out, that would have been interesting. But that's Louis Abernathy who wrote it. Real quick, I'll go through the cast. You have Greg Evigan as the lead, McBride. He's okay. I mean, he's a little bit, you know, not too much of a personality, not too much of a memorable character. But I thought he did what he had to do. I mean, I didn't mind him as an actor. I've seen a lot worse. But I could watch him. I thought he did all right, you know. And this is the same guy who, I didn't even realize this. That's the same guy who starred in Tech War. Remember all those Tech War TV movies and the TV series? The guy who starred in those is pretty much the star in this. I didn't even realize that. Wow, that's Greg Evigan. Wow. I know he did a lot of TV stuff like My Two Dads and stuff like that, but yeah, Tech War. Let's see. And then you have his woman who you find out was pretty much pregnant. That's Nancy Everhard. And Nancy Everhard is actually, if you remember the Dolph Lundgren film The Punisher, she's the woman who becomes partners with Louis Gossett Jr. In the deleted scenes, the deleted opening scene, she was the hooker who was undercover. She's a cop. And but she's the one who partners up with Louis Gossett Jr. to find the Punisher in the Dolph Lundgren version. So, and I like her as an actress. I think she did fine here. Those are pretty much your two leads. Then you have the captain, played by Taurean Blacque. It's Blacque, so I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Blacque. And, fucking fly. Sorry, fucking up my review. This is the guy that made me think of Michael Keane. Not just because of his looks, but because he was just he was a good captain. He was strong. He was capable. He was likable. He was fair. Unfortunately, he dies. I mean, he's the black guy. He dies. But at least he was the captain. And skipping ahead, he trying to do something. He gets crushed by the door, but they're trying to get him out, but he knows that if they stay there, they're going to die too. So he hits a button and it floods the compartment. So he's self-sacrificed, and I know Michael Caine would do that. Like, he's a family man, and I don't know, I watch it now, it just makes me think of Michael Caine in a good way. So that's nice. It would have been interesting to have him be the lead, you know. Would have been a little bit different, I will say that. But I thought he did fine. You have these two here. One is Matt McCoy, who I remember from, it's going to sound weird, but my personal favorite Bigfoot movie, Abominable. He's the guy in the wheelchair in the sort of Rear Window meets Bigfoot type of movie. I like that movie. And then the woman he likes is Nia Peeples. I know she was in that Steven Seagal film Half Past Dead. I think she was on Walker, Texas Ranger as well, playing a character named Scarpelli. You have this asshole doctor who, this is a character I did not like. Marius Wayers, sort of the asshole type of guy. Yeah, I definitely thought he was an asshole. He's really the cause of all this shit. Then you have a really interesting character. Oh, you have the female doctor, Cindy Pickett, who's also the mom in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I liked her in this film. I liked her as an actress. I thought she was fine. She's Ferris Bueller's mom. That's funny. Ferris Bueller's dad was in the film called Creature, and now Ferris Bueller's mom was in this film. I think those two got married, Cindy Pickett and that guy, when they did Ferris Bueller's, like, they fell in love, they got married, I think. So that'd be a fun, I wonder if they ever do that as a double feature at home. Like, they have a double feature of Creature and DeepStar Six. Yeah, I don't buy it either. But she does a fine job. And you also have Miguel Ferrer, who I thought was a really interesting character. Because he's a guy named Snyder who, I know my friend Effrey, he kind of relates his character a lot. Because he's a guy who's always told, what, do this, do that. You can't even have time to have breakfast. He's been down there a little too long. He wants to get up there. It's kind of like you take Bill Paxton and Paul Reiser's character and Aliens, kind of put them together. A little bit like that, but I'll get to that in a minute. But DeepStar Six, I haven't gotten to the plot. I know it's 13 minutes and I haven't gotten to the plot because the plot's fairly simple. I mean, hell, it says right here, far below the surface of the unforgiving sea, the daring crew of DeepStar Six are explorers in a forbidding world of impenetrable darkness and unimaginable pressure. They have invaded the icy fathoms into which no human has ever ventured. Their mission is to establish a top-secret naval base on the ocean floor. But something's down there, and the crew of DeepStar Six are about to make a startling discovery. There's no escape from the terror of the deep. Better hold your last breath to scream. And yeah, they work for the Navy, and they have to position like a missile silo there. And you're introduced to the characters, and I didn't mind the cast. I mean, most people say like The Abyss is the A movie with the A level cast. Same with Leviathan, it's the B movie with the B level cast. Maybe that's why I love that the most. And then this is like the C level movie with the C level cast. I guess you could call this a C level cast, but I like these actors. I liked Greg Evigan. I thought he did fine. I mean, he doesn't have much of a personality, but he was okay. Nancy Everhard I thought was sweet. I thought the captain, a little bit he has, was fine. I even like the two guys who, well, I'll get to that. But yeah, they're going for, you have the main base Deep Star, and then you have this little facility ship over quite a ways. And basically Nancy Everhard and this guy, played by Elia Bastian, they're told by the asshole doctor, again, this asshole, Dr. John Van Gelder, we gotta get these missiles in there, so before we get the fuck out of here, they gotta be in there. And it's like, okay. They don't want to do it, but, they're told by this asshole to do it, they're following orders. And they tell him, well, we can't put the missiles here because there's a cavern. And he's like, blow it up, blow the cavern, then put the missiles on top of it. He's like, well, wait a minute, I'm not sure. And even Nia Peeples, who's, she's wondering about it. She's like, well, wait a minute, I want to look at those caverns, which would be under, marine life, maybe thousands of years old. And the asshole guy says, no, we must do it. This guy's a fucking prick. He's the reason that all gets fucked up. That's why I didn't feel sorry for him what happens later, but I'll get to that. But, so they're like, okay, and they send these two guys out to put the missiles. These two guys are played by Tom Bray and Ron Carroll. I thought these guys, I really like these guys. I almost want to see a movie with these two guys. One has, he doesn't have a mustache, but he has like a beard, so he kind of looks like Amish type of guy with the glasses. Then you have like a somewhat older guy, kind of balding, like me. They were fun back and forth between those two. Like they set the missiles and they blow up and the sea floor is caving in and oh shit, we gotta get the hell out of here. And they're like, you okay? He's like, yeah, as soon as I scrape out my shorts. Or actually he says, as soon as I scrape out my drawers. And then Nancy Everhard says, hey, send a camera in there, see what's in there. And they do, and they lose the remote. And they go, oh shit, we lost it again. And it's like, what do you want to do? You want to go in for it? It's like, yeah, no one will notice. Like, they have I like somewhat blue-collar folks. I miss that in movies. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's part of nostalgia as well. But I like these guys. I didn't mind them. I don't think they did a bad job. I've seen a lot worse. Look at, some of the direct-to-DVD shit today. Those are worse. I think that's why. This is a time in the 80s where, you actually had actors. But maybe that's me pushing it too far. So they go in, and they go at the remote, and they're trying to get the remote, and they see something on the sonar coming. And then we don't see it, but we see their expression. They really saw it like they're scared shitless. Oh shit, look at the size of that fucking thing. Then you hear that it goes dead. And Nancy Everhard and the other guys trying to, what's going on, what's happening. And then their place gets hit repeatedly by this force. And you see its point of view. They don't show a lot of it, so they knew they must have known this creature wasn't up to snuff. But they don't show a lot of it, but fucking shit. Fucking flies and shit, damn. So they know it's not up to snuff. Because they don't show a lot of it, but they see it hit it and it fucks up the facility. And they try to contact Miguel Ferrer, and he's like, oh, wait, I'll get the captain. they come back, they don't hear anything, so Greg Evigan and the captain go up there. Uh, the other guy there, the Elia Bastion, he's basically been crushed, and he's getting drowsy, and ultimately he dies, and they have to get out of there, and that's when the captain is trying to help them out, and he gets crushed by one of these doors, like, and he's like, get out of here, come on, save yourselves. And he does the noble thing, like, he knows these guys are going to try to save him, but he hits the button and floods the compartment, and they get out of there. Now, maybe this is the problem that a lot of people have with the movie, is that they find it boring. It's understandable, because everything I just told you is pretty much half the movie. That's pretty much half the movie. It's developing these characters, setting up these characters. Then the monster comes. You don't see it. It hits this one station. They save him. The captain dies. They get out of there, and they report back on what happened. That's half the movie. So that may be a big problem with people. And that's understandable. But for some reason, I guess maybe I got used to it. Maybe because I like the cast. I got into the cast. I thought the production value was fine. I mean, it wasn't awe-inspiring, but I thought it was fine. It's better than a lot of shit they have today. I think that helps a lot. And I really like the second half of the film, though, where basically you have to figure out what to do, and Miguel Ferrer gets these sort of coordinates. Not coordinates, but they tell him what to do. You have to do this, do that, and he files the procedure. And the procedure happens to be to blow up the missiles. So he does it, and of course it blows up, and it fucks up DeepStar, and they're all blaming him. It's like, what the fuck you want? You know, I was following protocol. I did what I was told to do. So you really feel sorry for this character. At least I did. I mean, I know my friend Effie feels the same way. Because I think the thing it is with the... Damn, it's getting dark out. No wonder I'm losing light. Shit. But you kind of feel... I felt sorry for this character because, again, throughout the whole film, he gets picked on. Fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that. He can't enjoy his breakfast. They kind of pick on him a little bit. You have some fun stuff, like when before they go out to see what's happening with Nancy Everhard and the other station that's fucked up. They're doing a checklist, and they're naming all this stuff, and they're naming all these parts, and Miguel Ferrer's like, check. Okay, Henway. And Miguel Ferrer's like, what's a Henway? Oh, about 3-4 pounds. Yeah, real funny. Very funny assholes. So I thought you had some fun with that. But, like, you felt sorry for him because he even says yeah, I can handle it, but, he asked the doctor, Cindy Pickett, can you please help me? I need to get up there. I thought Miguel Ferrer played it well. I mean, it easily could have been a guy who you just hate as a plain asshole. Maybe some people feel that way, but I thought Miguel Ferrer, his character was actually likable enough you kind of felt sorry for him. And he did follow procedure, and only it fucked the station up. But he did follow procedure. And so they're blaming him. They gotta figure out what to do. And then basically it ends with, okay, they gotta go outside and do something. And Matt McCoy, which this scene, I like this cover too. I really like the cover. DeepStar Six, I like the title. I mean, it sounds like a stupid reason, but I like the cover. I really like that image. And it's in the movie. He goes out, Matt McCoy. He's screaming that there's something out there, and he's trying to get out. They're trying to get him out. And ultimately, the monster rises. He gets bit in half. And the suction that grabbed him, it's like carrying him over to another side. But you see, like, blood and stuff coming out. And, like, his woman, Nia Peeples, like, oh, my God. And the monster crawls out, and they have shotguns trying to shoot at the thing, trying to get the fuck out of there. Nia Peeples gets killed. They have to figure out what the fuck to do. Miguel Ferrer is losing it. He's fucking things up, but he's not trying to do it on purpose. He's fucking things up. Like, he didn't open the door like he should have because he's getting scared. But at the same time, I thought they actually had if they worked with this character a little bit more and made him the hero, like a redemption, would have been interesting. A little bit more interesting of a movie. But they have to figure out what to do next. So they don't go out there, and they have shotguns. They even have these things, kind of like a big pole at the end, if you hit something, it explodes. And even Miguel Ferrer's like, how's that going to work? You don't know. It's outdated. And it just hits right in the seat, and the seat blows up, and he's, oh, shit. And then gives it to him. He's like, okay. So then they go down there. And then, of course, all hell breaks loose. They're shooting. Miguel Ferrer gets scared, turns, and hits the thing on that asshole doctor. And boom, part of him blows up. And he's freaking out, and he's running out of there. He's not trying to do it on purpose. He fucked up. He's out of it. I think that's why I kind of felt sorry for the character, because, you know, I think Miguel Ferrer did a good job acting-wise. It was a sort of interesting thing with his character, I thought. He didn't mean to do it on purpose. And the way they did it, you could see, did the guy back into his pole, or did he fuck up? I guess maybe it's up to you. But then later on, he's sort of like seeing these images of all the stuff, like pushing the button, making it blow, the missiles blow, him getting killed. He freaks out and he jumps into the decompression. They're like, no, you can't, you don't die. He's not listening. He's out. He's far gone. He goes up, and they're like, he's dead already. And then you have like probably one of the more memorable death scenes where he pretty much gets decompressed, and blood coming down his nose, and skin breaking up on his arm, you know. And you get the idea that as he rises up, he blows up. You don't see him blow up, but you see the beginning of it. I thought it was pretty well done. And then they gotta figure out what the hell to do next. So one thing leads to another. Greg Evigan has to go underwater to open something, to do some shit. Cindy Pickett saves them by has like these electric paddles and is like frying the creature, you know, self-sacrifice. And I liked her character. They get out of there, one thing leads to another, and then you have an ending that's kind of could have been better. I will say the ending could have been better, where the last two survivors, they get up, and it's the fakest looking fucking background of the ocean you've ever seen. Because there are certain shots where it's far away, they are on the ocean. But then there's certain shots up close where the background, it literally is painted. You could tell it's like a fucking high school play. It's that pathetic looking. It looks so fake. It looks really painted on. I don't know why they could, like, it looks really, 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 really fake. So, and then, like, the way the creature ultimately goes is really not much. I mean, it rises up, tries to attack him. He, like, dumps some gasoline, shoots a flare, it blows up. You think he's dead, but he rises up, the lead guy, and him and the woman get in the raft, and they go off in the distance. And now for the film, I will say, again, I'm one of the few minority that likes this film, me and my friend Everhard. Maybe because I thought the production value was fine, thought the score was fine. I liked the cast, even the lead guy, Greg Evigan. Could have had a little bit more personality to him, but I thought they did fine. It's nothing original. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's nothing original, but it's, yeah, maybe it's nostalgia, but these are the kind of creature feature flicks I grew up with. Like Watchers 2, Leviathan, this film, all that stuff. The kind of creature feature stuff I grew up with. Maybe that's why. Again, I didn't mind the cast. Had a little bit of blood, you know, the guy getting bit in half, and Miguel Ferrer's death scene, decompression. So you had a little bit of blood in there. The creature was practical. Now, I will say the creature could have been done better. I will say that. But, to be honest, I don't mind the creature. It's the eye that they fucked up on. Now, I don't know if you see, look, right there. If you take the eye out, the rest of the creature actually doesn't look that bad. I mean, it's a crustacean. It's a crab-like creature. Has these jaws that open up, and I thought it looked fine. For practical, it looked fine. It's the eye that gives it away. The eye makes it look fake. See, this eye, it's really badly done. This just red eye, it really badly done. The eye, to me, for me, makes it look faker than it should have been. I wonder if they had like a glass black, you know, like a shark eye, Like if it's black, like glass, like ball, maybe it had like a little white pupil in it or something. I don't know. It's just, or maybe if it just didn't have eyes at all, you know, or like what does a squid doesn't have red eyes or anything, you know. Uh, but I don't mind the creature. It's been done a lot better. Leviathan is much better. That's Stan Winston. But I think if they fix the eye issue, if this eye didn't look blatantly fake, I mean, that's where it goes to, okay, that eye looks shit. The rest of it I thought looked fine. I mean, that's why they didn't use it a lot. They used it in quick little instances. Uh, so I thought the monster looked fine except for the eye. The eye is what fucks it up. The eye looks fake. But not minding the characters, liking the cast. I will admit, I like the cast. I don't mind the score. The production values I thought were fine, whether it be the suits, the facility. I don't think didn't look too cheap. I said too and I spit everything out. I mean, the problems I have with the film, the first half of the film, maybe too slow, because again, the bit I mentioned, that's the first half of the movie. I think that's how people don't get bored by it. Also, it's nothing original. It's not like they did anything remotely original. But for me, as long as it entertains me, then that's all that matters. But, you know, the first half being a little bit too slow. The first half being a little bit too slow. The ending being kind of a let down. Like, you know, at least Peter Wells said, motherfucker, blew the thing up, boom. I mean, if they had like a weapon, or something like that, and also that backdrop, that high school play shit, no, it doesn't fly. Not that high school play background shit with fucking painted clouds. Come on, Sean S. Cunningham, you should know better than that. So the ending I think could have been better. The first half could have been maybe gone a little bit quicker. The monster, if they changed little stuff like the eyeball so that it didn't look as fake, those are my main three problems. I mean, the rest of it, three problems and a suggestion is like, okay, if they did something a little bit different, like if Miguel Ferrer's character was the lead, he became the hero. It was a redemption. It's like he had to redeem himself. Or if the black guy, the captain, he became the hero. Go, whoa, I didn't see that. Like if Greg Evigan got killed at the beginning, he got crushed. You go, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. Okay, if they did something like that. But as it is, I still liked it. I like the cast. It's my kind of movie. I was entertained. The monster's practical. I always deal with the practical more than fucking CGI. That's just how I am. It's my personal interest. I think the creature does look okay, except for the eye. You know, if you take the eye out, then, you know, it doesn't look that bad. I've seen much, much worse. What are Watchers for? Hell, fucking Lords of the Deep and Evil Below and shit. I think Evil Below wasn't even monsters, like fucking ghosts and shit. Whatever, fuck it. But hell, this looks better than the fucking CGI facehugger and Prometheus. I'll give it that much shit. Or the fucking dit snake. Anyway, that's another. But either way, I like Deep Blue. Deep Blue. I always want to say Deep Blue Sea, which I like Deep Blue Sea a lot, except some of the CGI in that is really, really, really dated. But other than that, I really like Deep Blue Sea. But DeepStar Six, I really like DeepStar Six. I do. I enjoy it. But to each their own. I'll say it again. Take this with a big, big grain of salt and pepper. I know only two guys who like this. Me and this guy in New York. So take it for what it will. Maybe it's because we grew up with the film. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you on the next review. Later.